Hello. Nice to see you. To see you. Nice. Here we are. Live stream again. So I shall get on with it. I will get on with it. So if you want to call me in my live streams, the way you do that is through Skype, and my Skype address is Lisa Cairns 12. It's Lisa Cairns 12. So you just send me a request, or you for friendship, or you already have my friendship, and you just send me a message or say I want to call you, I want to ask a question. And you can just write them away freely, and I will answer it. I do these talks every Sunday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. French time. You're always very welcome to join. There is another channel called Video Clips Lisa Cairns, and that's edited clips of these talks. It's not my channel, it's someone else's channel, and they edit and they put up clips of these talks. And you're very welcome to subscribe to that. If you don't like all the chit chat or the silences they have, then they eliminate all those bits and make it into shorter videos with titles. It's very nice. If you want to come to an event, the next event I'm doing is in Germany, at the Baltic Sea. I don't think there's any hotel rooms left. There might be one or two, but you're welcome to stay outside and just come to the event at the hotel. That is on the 9th to 16th of August, so in a couple of weeks. Like 3 weeks or something, 2.5 weeks. So you're very welcome to join that. What else? I can't think of anything else. There is. I always like to start off the talk with some silence, so you're very welcome to join me in silence. Come on. So here we are. What was the title of the talk today? The title of the talk was, Is this world created through cause and effect? A fascinating topic. Is this world... Okay, I've forgotten the title again. Is this world created through cause and effect? So this is such a good topic. So the way that humans see the world is they believe they arrived from the last moment and that there's somebody that's sitting here that came from the past and is moving to the future. So that's always the perspective of the human, that you've come from the past, that you came from somewhere and that you're going to the future. So you have an imagination of your day. So my day was that I went and had my hair done. I did some writing on my book on the phone, like that. I walked the dogs in the woods. What else did I do? So I can go into memory and I can create this past, and then most people identify with that memory, that person, and then they think that's who they are. That who they are is this person that did all those things and now is sitting here and then will get up and finally move into the future. So this person is always a time-bound entity. So it's always living in time. It's always either living in past or future, and it's somewhere you've come from and somewhere you're going to. So for an animal, so say Khaleesi, who is just sitting down there. Say hello, Khaleesi. Khaleesi. Hello, Khaleesi. Hello. Oogie, 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 oogie. Oogie, 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 oogie. So, cook. Heyo. Oh, hey. You're so sweet. So for Khaleesi, she's totally not interested in anything I've got to say. It's not quite dinner time yet. Give it another 15 minutes and then she'll leave me. Or 1 hour. She'll be ready for her dinner. And she'll be more interested in me. So if we go for Khaleesi, so Khaleesi hasn't really got a very strong memory. She has some form of memory, like she can remember sort of when it's food time every day. And she can have some form of memory of where she's hidden bones, but it doesn't function like ours. And why am I so convinced about that? Because they don't have language. So they don't have the ability to say, hello, my name's Khaleesi. How are you today? It's nice to meet you. I've just been down the shops and bought myself some bones. And this evening I'm going out and having a bit of a bogey. Have a bit of a night out on the town with the ladies. Khaleesi doesn't have that language. We like to project onto our animals that they can think, but how can they think if they don't have language? So they have some form of imagery that's going on. Maybe, we're not sure about that. You've got to remember their brain is like a walnut, the size of a walnut. It's a very small brain, but they certainly don't have language. So Khaleesi doesn't even recognize herself in the mirror. So when I put a mirror to her, she doesn't even think, oh, that's me. She's just absolutely uninterested, as if it's like nothing. So even if she did have thinking, or more complicated thinking than I'm implying, who would she be in her imaginations? Because she doesn't even recognize her body. So who would she imagine herself to be? Whereas when you're imagining yourself as a body that's moving through time. Even though it's not that clear, or it's a bit blurry, you're imagining your form moving through time. Whereas Khaleesi has no idea that she's a black dog from Thailand, and a black and beige dog from Thailand, and that she's of medium height, of good proportion. She's not too slim, not too fat. She has a curly tail and pointy ears. She has no sense of that. So who is she? Like, who does she imagine herself to be? Like, in order for us to imagine ourselves to be something, we have to be something. So you could say, oh, she imagines herself as some form of essence inside the body, like she's a soul or something. But what would that look like, this essence? Because if you imagine your soul, you imagine your body with it. like this ethereal essence that's in there, like doesn't look like anything, isn't identified with a thing. So to Khaleesi, she's just here, she's present, and she's not having this intense memory about the past or future, and she certainly doesn't think that she is something that's come from the past, arrived in the present, and will soon descend into the future like a rocket. She just is right here, right now, as she is. That's so hard for us to imagine, because we're always imagining that this world has something to do with me, 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 me. But we as humans are convinced that that's who we are. Whereas actually who we are is something that's right here. So if you've ever noticed, you've always been here. There's always been this moment. You've never actually managed to obtain the past or hold on to the past or get to the future. You've always been right here, right now, this alive presence that's looking at itself, that knows itself. And in that, images have appeared of your past and of your future, giving the appearance that you're coming from the past and going to the future. But actually, the past and the future are like two black holes that you don't know, that are an absolute mystery. You're always on the verge of the precipice. You're never actually like descending into anything. You're always in mystery. You don't know what's coming. It's just our mind plays tricks on us. So, let's look at the way our mind works. So let's look at the way that we know movement. So the movement of my arm, for example. So what's happening in that movement is there's lots of images appearing that's giving us movement. So we know that it's up here because we remember that it was down here. So we remember it's there, we remember it's there, we remember it's there. So remember its previous position. But that memory is happening so quickly that's piecing together all of this. Like our memory. If you had no memory, if you were like a fish that forgets every 6 seconds, it's like it's got to there, it's forgotten it. Maybe there's an animal that forgets even quicker, so then it's like the past has disappeared even quicker. So our memory is filling in the gaps. So we know that movement by the memory of the position here, 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 here. So you could say that our memory is happening and piecing everything together really quickly, like our brain is giving the appearance of all this movement. Like to another animal that has different senses or different experiences, I'm sure this world is completely different. Completely different. Like to a snake, this world is something else. To a dog, this world is very different. So what's the point of knowing that? The point of knowing that is remembering who you are beyond this story of who you are. So it's remembering who you are beyond this image and idea of you that you're always retelling yourself, always identifying with. So what's here beyond all of that? So you're identifying with this, like, so say this is the human life, you're identifying with something that's not here. Like you remember that your life down here, and then your life comes up to here and you remember it and you're holding it in your imagination together as if that's you looking out of your eyes now. That person that came from the past is looking out of my eyes. But that's not who's looking out of your eyes. There's an innocence here that is not a thing and everything. It's not anything. It's not thought. It's not image. It's not experience. It's not memory. It's not anything. But yeah, it is everything. It knows everything. So it is everything that's appearing. So it's nothing and everything. So, and your essence is conscious of itself. It knows this is happening. And even though my words are disappearing and your mind is making sense of it, there's something else happening here, which is really quite magical and mysterious and wonderful. It's not something you can grab onto. Your mind is like, oh, where is this? Where is this no place that's every place? Where is this consciousness or aliveness or energy, whatever the teacher expresses it to be? But there's no place to hold on to. You can't grab hold of it. It doesn't have a solid form. It is nothing appearing as everything. So you can't understand it. The mind understands matter, understands things, understands comparison. But this has got no comparison. This has got no opposites. This has got no things. It is no thing, which is everything. The mind's like, it looks desperately for something. So actually in this moment, who am I speaking to? So the mind, the intellect thinks that I'm speaking to you, or the identity thinks that I'm speaking to you, and you're someone sat there in relationship to me. But in this moment, in this instant, who am I actually speaking to? Right now. So identification creates suffering. So this identification with the person, the identification with cause and effect creates suffering. It sucks you in, it makes you feel like you are something solid, that it's inside this body, that you are a separate person looking out of the world. But actually there is nobody looking out of the world. There is nothing looking out of the world. There is simply everything. There isn't something here looking out at the world. Pardon me. And the relevance of this is that when you identify with that person, it creates this suffering. It creates this intensity, because as soon as you identify, you feel like you lose home. You feel like you've lost something, because your nature, your essence is expansive, is undefined, is no thing appearing as everything, which is huge, which is everything. And then when you identify, you become limited, and that always feels like you've got a stone in your shoe. It always feels like there's something not quite right. So then what the mind does is it begins to obsess and think about what it can do to get home, to get to that freedom that it kind of remembers from childhood. Like, what can I do to get there? What can I be? So then it begins to get into this hamster's ball of trying to find this in time. So it's trying to find it in something that does not exist, in imagination, in a future event, in something that's never here. You never get to the future. You never really achieve anything. It's all stories that you're telling yourself. And you're trying to get to a story of arrival. So even like buying a house is only a story now, actually. You never actually own a house. It's just contracts and ideas that you have that you own a house, and collective reality that society has. But actually you never own a house. Like anybody that has a house now, that owns a house, it doesn't actually feel like your house. It's like you have that feeling like somebody, like it's not your house, because it isn't your house. That's a story that you're retelling yourself, just like if you're telling yourself I'm rich or I'm successful, it's a story that you're retelling yourself. Right here, right now, you're not anything. You're just being, you just are. These stories are relevant to function in society, so I denigrate that to character. So these stories, like the ability to be able to communicate that you have a house, or that you have a computer, or that you've got a dog, or that you have kids, or you've got to go shopping this evening, those all belong to this character, which you need to have a character in order to function in this society. Like if you didn't have a character, like somebody says, so where are you going tonight? Where do you live? So there needs to be this character that comes in and out and has the ability to communicate stories, and the ability to navigate this human society, which is all based on stories. Like our finance is a story. Like we made up how we do finance. Numbers is a story. Science is a story. Everything is stories. And that storytelling is an amazing way of being able to communicate things and being able to evolve, but they're not fact. We believe that our world is real. We believe that our stories are real. We believe that our society is real. We believe that that person is a good person, that person is a bad person, I'm this type of person, that person is rich, that person is this. Whereas actually, we've just given things stories in order to navigate our environment. It doesn't mean they're true. But we need this character in order to contain these stories, and in order to be able to navigate its way around other instruments and this world. But in this moment, that's not who you are, and that's what's been forgotten. And this moment is all you ever have. So you could say that in every moment, who you truly are is nobody appearing as everything, nothing appearing as everything, nobody, which if you're not anything, if you're not a body, then by default that means that you're everything. And this is the part that's forgotten, and it's the part that most humans want to forget in a way, because the functioning of the human and of the mind is to always want to be something. Like it's scared, it's terrified of not being something. Like when I say that to you on the human level, the body is terrified, like I have to be something, I have to be special, I have to be grand. So the identity like always wants to generate itself and always wants to be something. So when the identity hears this story, which it is as well, or hears these concepts, it's also terrified. So this world works in apparent cause and effect. That's the way we tell our stories. Like we tell our stories in apparent cause and effect. So I drink water and then the body pees out the water. Like I hit my head, a lump grows. I plant a seed and water it, and then a seed grows up. Life form grows. So it appears in cause and effect, but it's not truth. And that's our difficulty. As humans, we're always looking for things to be true and real and the way things are, whereas actually what we're doing is we're creating a world through stories. We're creating a society through stories. We're creating rules through stories. We're creating science through stories. And we think that's reality. So what's beyond reality when we stop focusing on what we're thinking, on what we're telling ourselves? And what's beyond reality is this alive presence, this beingness that knows itself right here, that's free. Right now. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Okay, we go to questions now. Hello. Excuse me, can you call me after your live stream? 1 second. Hey, Kevin. One infinite life's eternal moment. Hi, Andre. Hello, Lisa. What do you recommend for a blocked throat chakra? Be honest. Be honest. So, a blocked chakra is when you're not saying what you want, basically. It's more complicated than that. It's like energy rising up, but it's not saying what you want, not doing what you want. 1 sec. Hello, Daniel. Just 1 second. I just got to... Oh, hey, that is a really bad line. Have you got headphones in? Do you have headphones?
Okay, and watch your stream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's better if... I'm good, thank you, but it's better if you call me when you have headphones, because otherwise it's a bit uncomfortable for other people that are listening. That's another set. So maybe you can call me next stream when you get headphones.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. I just want to ask you one question or two.
No, it's because you can hear that you've got a bad line. You can write it to me, but you need headphones, otherwise it begins to echo and feedback, and it's not nice for other people.
Okay.
Yeah? Thanks. So just write the questions to me and I'll answer them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. So what I suggest is putting attention there and then asking yourself, what is it I want? Like, is there lots of situations where you're not expressing what you feel or what you want? Like, and just finding honesty in that. Like I said, sometimes we're so confused, we don't understand what our body's telling us. So just get to know it, give attention to it, and ask, what is it I want? What is it I want to say? What is it I'm trying to say? But we could do a lot more work on that if you phoned in and or if you booked a session. I could work a lot more on that with you. It's a bit complex for me to just preach that at you. What I would prefer to do is for you to go in there and see what it's saying, and for me to guide you into that. But I don't think you want to call in. Hi, Ines. Dear Lisa, close family members' judgments have made me recoil and start to compromise again with life that doesn't serve me, or anyone really, which is painful and constrictive. Sorry if this is off topic, but if you could please talk about getting over the fear to disappoint others, crash their expectations, shock people, because it seems to be very common. Sincerely, Ines. I think that this is more like a psychological issue rather than a non-dual issue, a non-duality issue, which I'm happy to address. But firstly, I don't know your family situation, I don't know your friend's situation, and so therefore I can't comment, but in too much detail, but just basically I think it's too complex for me to generalize. I think we'd have to speak about that one-on-one. So if you wanted to call later in the session today, I think I've got someone else that wants to speak, but it's too complex, because I don't know what you're doing. Are you saying things because we do things for so many complex reasons, and it's all about understanding what our body's saying. Sometimes we say things to people because we want them to change, or we want them to understand us, and we want them to be reactive. We want to change their opinion of us or something, and that sometimes can come from seeking energy, like a seeking to be seen as something, or a seeking to get a certain amount of attention, or a seeking to like be validated. And if you're doing that, then that might create friction, like more friction that's needed. I think standing up for yourself and doing what you feel and expressing what you want and being true to yourself can create discomfort in others, but sometimes we do it with extra energy because we've for so long been repressed. Like, when something's repressed, sometimes it comes out like and that is, it's in some ways a little bit reactive, but unless I speak to you, I can't find out what that's about, really. But Andre just called me, and I was speaking to him before, and he wants to call in now, so I'm just going to speak with him. Hey, Andre. We just missed each other there. Hello? You are not... I cannot hear you. I don't think it's to do with me. I think that's to do with you. Do you want to do a Skype call test and check that all your instruments and technology is working, and then give me a call back? Thank you. Bye. Okay, so Daniel, just want to ask you if you know this fever in your body when your flesh gets warm, and want to know if you know this endless vomiting. Yeah, that's too small. I don't know what you're talking about. So it sounds like you're sick. I don't know, or it could be energetical, but maybe you want to define that, Daniel, a little bit more. So give me a little bit more to work on there. It's like giving me a tiny little breadcrumb. Make sense of that. I understand. I'll try and schedule a session to talk with you someday. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to talk on here, Ines, if you want to. Hi, Nadia. Morning, Lisa. Nice to wake up to hear you today. I was listening to you talking today about the illusion of past and future. It made me think of how lately I've been having more and more memories from early childhood and feeling like they bring some relief. Is there a role for that? You made me wonder. Thank you for your silence and space, Lisa. With pleasure, Nadia. The role is that our bodies, so even on the absolute level, we're nobody looking out, we're absolute freedom, but our body, our physical body. Hi, Andre.
Hello, hi.
Hi.
Yeah, you can hear me.
Yeah,
Yes?
I can hear you. Just 1 second. I just say to Nadia, I will reply to you after I've spoken to Andre, but it's just the way it goes. Okay, hey Andre, how can I
Hi,
help
hello. Yeah, I don't really know what to say, but I feel like my heart is really blocked.
you? Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
like it's beating hard.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you're a bit nervous as well, like speaking to me
Yes,
live. I can imagine it's really nerve-wracking.
yes.
Speaking live. So just before we start speaking, just be aware that, this is going to be on the internet after this. This gets uploaded onto the internet. So just be aware not to overexpose yourself. Like, if I ask you questions or if I delve into something that you don't want to speak about, you're just very welcome to say this is too much. I don't want to expose myself in that way.
Yes, and I talked to you about the throat chakra. Maybe it's something to do with it as well.
Yeah. So we can just have a little bit of an investigation, so into these areas and see what's going on. So would you say that all your chakras are a little bit uncomfortable at the moment?
Yes.
So your whole body is like in tension. So I'm just
the lower chakras, I think they're like more balanced. Like
more balanced. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just more the heart, and the solar plexus is okay.
I feel it a little, but it's primarily the heart.
Okay. So if you just shut your eyes, I tend to like to do this with shut eyes with people because I don't know, it's like an energetic thing.
Yes, it's easier.
Yeah. So if you shut your eyes and just put your attention into your body. So just feel your whole body. And before we do this, just know that who you are, like when you've got your eyes shut, it sometimes can be easier to hear. Who you are is everything that's appearing now. You're not limited to an idea of end. So you're not limited to this body that you're imagining. You're not limited to a certain amount of space. Like you have an idea that your body ends and then the world begins out there. But actually, when your eyes shut, there's just infinity. There's something that doesn't end or start or stop. There's no back to it. There's no beginning and there's no end. There's just experiencing happening. And in that experiencing, there is a tight chakra in the heart. And really, that tight chakra in the heart is happening in everything. It's everything. It's life that's supporting it. It's not... you're not actually carrying it. That's an idea that you're carrying it and that it belongs to you. It's actually just sensation that's appearing. And the same with your throat chakra. But the chakras have stories in them. So each chakra has particular stories and particular words that it contains. So the heart chakra in its positive is it feels loved, it feels accepted, it feels part of the group. This is just a psychological element to it.
Yes, yes.
It feels part of the group, it feels like it's accepted, it feels worthy, it feels like it's got something to give, it feels like it can give. And then out of balance, it feels like it's unworthy, it can be abandoned, it's not good enough, it will never be given up good enough, it's got nothing to give, nobody will ever love you, you're unlovable. I think I've forgotten the positive to say love, it's love. And
Yeah,
then
and maybe the idea that I think like that it is wrong, like
yeah,
it shouldn't be like this, and
yeah, yeah. Things shouldn't be the way they are. And then the throat chakra is the ability to express yourself, the ability to express emotions, to feel safe, to be able to say what you want, to feel like you can say what you want, to feel like you can speak out what's happening inside of you. And in the negative, it's feeling closed down, it's feeling not listened to, like you can't speak, like nobody will hear you. There's nothing you can say. And it's also where emotions
yeah,
come.
and
So
I can sorry for cutting you out. I
that's
think
okay.
it's related to my family, like as I'm in a situation that like I'm not able to be heard and to
Yeah.
express my truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that makes it really intense. Now that I'm speaking with you, I can like
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, I don't yes.
Yeah, that's great that you can see that. So, so let's go down to the heart area. And do you feel like in your current life situation, that you're accepted as you are?
Not.
So you can see why they're out of balance, because your day situation is something that reflects you back that you do you
Yes,
feel like
my
you
day-to-day life. Yeah.
yeah do you feel like you have something to give?
No.
Yeah.
But I think I'm trying to give to people
Yeah.
in order to fulfill this space.
Yeah. Yeah. So just become aware of that. So do you feel like other people love and accept you?
No.
Do you feel that you love and accept other people?
No.
See, we're so simple. Like all of us are like this, and this is why they get uncomfortable. So the reason that it's tight and contracted is because these are the belief systems that are in your body at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like I want to throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in the
And that feels good.
you want to. It feels good to want to flow up. Yeah. 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 Oh, throw up, not flow up. Throw up. Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So and then also in your throat.
I think the energy like is rising from my heart to my throat.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And it can give you a feeling of sickness as well. And then,
Yes.
do you feel safe to express what you feel and what you want? Can you ask for what you want?
In my day-to-day life?
Yeah.
No.
So this will be something that will have gone on your whole life. This is a habit that you formed. It's not just something that's present in your situation.
Yes,
Your
I think
situation.
like childhood trauma, maybe like not being able to express myself, not being heard of.
Yeah. So then what will happen is that you'll begin to resonate at the way that you're conditioned, and then you'll seek out situations that resonate with that. So you'll actually seek out situations where you're not heard, where you've not got something to give.
Yes.
Because that's what resonates energetically with your body. This is where law of attraction comes in. It's absolutely impersonal, but if you've got if you're resonating that you can't be heard or that other people won't hear you, then you'll seek that out, because it won't feel comfortable to be in a situation where people want to hear you, because you feel like you can't be heard and that people don't listen to you.
You know, I like about like 2 or 3 months ago, like I was at the time listening to Muji.
Yeah.
And it was really intense. I felt like I was getting somewhere, and I thought, that's it. I'm not going to be me. And I, like this strong and in that like time zone, like a horrible time, like a fight with my family.
Yeah.
like it's fine, but it was really intense. I really wanted to fly out, but my family really was against that. Yes, and I tried everything to escape from my situation.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yes.
And in a way, you can see how like non-duality becomes an escape from these feelings as well.
Yes.
Because you then imagine being no one, and if you're no one, then you don't feel those feelings.
Yeah, I don't need to face it.
Yeah, you don't need to face it. And in a one way, it's true. Like these non-dual teachings are so beautiful because in this moment, you're not anybody and it all disappears. But while you've got tightness in these areas, and they're really tight and you're identified with them, then what creates is you create seeking patterns to try to validate them and to try and keep them the way they are. That's what you seek for. And then you also seek to try to fulfill them. So it's like you seek situations to try to keep them the same, but then also to fulfill them. So I'll give you an example of a love relationship. So say you fell in love with a particular, so say if you feel particularly unloved or unseen by your family, what you could do then is find a woman that you fall dramatically in love with and you really want to be with her, and then you get with her. But part of her dynamic is that she doesn't listen to you, and the focus is more on her and on her life and more on her situation and what she gets out of it. So again, you go towards a situation where you're not heard, where your wants aren't validated. And then what you do is you keep seeking to try to get her attention, try to get her to validate you. And every time she gives you a crumb, it feels like love, it feels ecstatic because suddenly you're worth something and suddenly you get attention. But at the same time, it keeps perpetuating that you're not worthy of getting attention. So it keeps perpetuating that you're not worthy of attention, that you don't deserve to be heard, but it also keeps giving you crumbs that makes you feel this ecstatic love because you feel like you get a tiny crumb of attention or you get a tiny crumb of validation and it's like ecstatic. And this is what we're doing with our jobs, with careers all the time because we're in this seeking loop.
Excuse me, it's really like overwhelming for me even to hear that, yes.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with this whole game. This is how most of society is set up, that you're having these vibrations in your body and they're unconsciously dictating your life, dictating the way you think, dictating your external feelings. And when you begin to get into non-duality, into this subject, you begin to change the vibration of your body. So you begin to change your stories and your conditioning. We begin to get obsessed and think that we have to get rid of all negative feelings, but our chakras are designed to feel negative feelings. You are meant to feel negative feelings because it's meant to deter you from certain situations. But because you've identified with them and because they're totally unconscious and you've never been taught to put attention on them, then you're sort of you're living out like an automatic pilot of negativity. So it's just becoming conscious of them. It's understanding what your body wants. And then it's also putting it in the positive. So let's see if we can now do the positive in you. So now put your attention back in your heart and tell me what you would like your parents or your family to how you would like them to see you, what you want them to see you like.
I don't even want to see them like as a positive thing. Like I think I feel very hurtful. Towards them,
So just notice that your chakra doesn't even want to move out of it. It wants to stay vibrating there. So just notice that. There's nothing wrong with that. You've done nothing wrong at all. But just notice that.
And the whole idea that I got like narcissist and codependent like made me like perpetuate like the idea of them like it made it worse, I think.
Yeah, when you begin to see everybody's games around you, it can be quite shocking, and it can bring up blame. But they're the robots just like you. They can't be any other way. They're a product of everything that came before. So in a way, what you're doing is you're waking up your family line. You're not waking up you. You're waking up life and your family conditioning. Okay, so let's go to a different situation. So how would you like the world to see you? Like if the world could view you, other humans, society could view you, how would you like it to view you?
I feel like I need to not to be seen.
You want to not be seen,
Yes.
like you want to disappear.
Yes. Maybe that's like because I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
Maybe something to do with that.
And does it make you feel good, the
Yes,
idea
it
of
does.
not
It
being
does. It
seen?
does. It does. Like it feels safer.
Feels safer, okay. Okay, so let's move away from that. So what about job-wise? Like what job would you aspire to do if you could do anything? Not anything that's realistic, just anything.
What do you mean realistic?
Like it doesn't have to be realistic, like in your current circumstance. Anything. If you like, it could be motor
Yes, like
racer
as I said, to help people
to help
and
people.
maybe to discover this. Yes.
To help people discover this. And how does that
Yes,
make
and
you?
it's like the most. Yes, it like yes, it's the.
How does it make you feel? Like when you say that?
Like I agree with it in a way.
Yeah. And does it when you think about helping other people and teaching this, how does it make you feel more open or expanded or positive?
Like neutral maybe.
Neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the moment, I think your chakras are quite uncomfortable, so it's difficult to do. But what I'm trying to do is pull you in the positive. It doesn't mean that positive is true. It doesn't mean it's something that you actually have to manifest. In a way, it's another story. And I'm just trying to get you to tell an opposite story, to bring your chakra vibration more into neutral or more into the positive. So what about if you begin to imagine becoming enlightened? Like, I know that this word is fiction at the end of the day, but if you imagined enlightened and that you got superpowers and that you were absolutely free of all suffering. How does that feel?
Like very childish.
Like
Maybe that's what I feel about myself.
Like childish in what way? Like childish in a nice way, or childish in a like being irresponsible, or childish in a negative way? Or like it's unrealistic?
Yeah, it's unrealistic.
What if it's not unrealistic? What if anything is possible in this world? And this is really what we want to get back to, actually, is that anything is possible. It's not that we want to condition ourselves into a new story that enlightenment is possible and we're going to go out there and get superpowers. It's trying to get you back into that place of wonder, like on the human level.
Yes, and you know, like when I speak to you, like it's very hard. But when I'm by myself, like I can sometimes even get glimpses and
Yeah,
like really deep, yes,
yeah,
meaning, yeah.
yeah.
So I think like I don't want to like give. I want to like for other people to be able to ask you questions. So
Oh, yeah.
what would you suggest? Like
So what I would suggest is at the moment is playing with the chakras. So letting out like the dark feelings. So like speaking out the anger that you feel to your family by yourself, not to them. So speaking it out. And I didn't really go there with you because I didn't want you to have to expose yourself on the internet. But speaking it out, like what you're angry with them about, and like giving yourself space to do that. And then also trying to evoke positive images of yourself on the human level, of what you want, and just open your mind up to say anything. Like it's only imagination, so you can imagine anything, and you want to get to a place where it's making you vibrate with positivity. Even if it's sexuality or a love or attention, it doesn't mean you have to have that. It doesn't mean it's true, and it is fake, it's just a story. But it's trying to get that chakra into positive vibration and just trying to unlock the mind, so the mind is flexible and open. Like it's not so locked on what it thinks it knows about this life. It's going back more to childlikeness, like that wonder, that possibility. You know, when kids play, like anything is possible. So it's going through these two things. So putting your attention in the chakra, like telling yourself what your negative
Yes,
story
and
is.
maybe you know my third eye perhaps like is very intense too.
Your what, sorry?
Third eye.
Third eye. Yeah.
Yes, like the overthinking.
Yeah.
Like
Overthinking.
that's the problem, I think.
Yeah. And this is
Yes, because when you said it, like I like it resonated.
Yeah. Yeah. And giving your body attention, like I think this is really good. And then also listening to non-duality and really seeing that who you are is this moment. It's not these chakras, it's not this story of you, it's not the past, it's not the future, it's this moment. That's who you truly are. And then just allowing your body to work out its old karmas, because all these aren't you. Like everything that you've picked up from your parents isn't you, and it can change. These stories aren't you.
And I feel sometimes like if I get away from them, like it would make like in my imagination, like for the or maybe it's not the way to escape too.
I think that that like leaving and moving from your family situation can be really good sometimes, but I think that you need to have positive images of where you want to go, otherwise you'll end up in the same. Like, so you need to begin to vibrate on what it is that you do want to manifest in this life on the positive level, and be really clear about that. Otherwise you'll just fall into the same patterns with another and with other people that are like your family.
Yes. And thank you very much, Lisa.
Always pleasure. Thank you for
Thank you.
expressing and being willing to expose yourself. I hope it wasn't too much.
Yeah. It was intense, but it was helpful. I felt
good.
like it needed to come up. Yeah, thank you for your time.
With pleasure. Thank you for calling.
Bye.
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 I just need to go to the toilet. It's so hot in England here. We've had to drink so much all day that it now needs to come out of the bladder. I know that you don't need that information, but I can't help it. I just speak everything. Okay. I was speaking to someone else, Nadia. So I was just explaining about the body, Nadia. Just let me make sure my sound's back on. So ultimately, who we are is everything that's being experienced now. Like everything that's being experienced. but life is experiencing through these bodies, and these bodies contain stories, and our chakras contain stories of our life. That's not who you are. There's identification with the body and belief that's who you are. Who you are is everything in the experiencing now, which is nothing. And the true freedom is that energetic shift. But you can also work on the bodily level. It won't lead you to that energetic shift. That energetic shift happens by grace and it's nothing to do with you. But it's really healthy to work on the body and not deny the body. And maybe if the body becomes more clear, then there can be a hearing of this better. Like when you're too contracted in the body, you can't hear the beauty of this moment. You're like, it's awful when the body's contracted. So each chakra, the chakra is related to all over the body. Like you can go for a massage and then stories will come out of your body. Like you can just massage your leg and then a story might come up, like a memory might come up. So our memories and our images are held all over the body. Like some people hold it in their shoulders, if they've had lots of stress in their life. Some people felt really unloved and they might be like this all the time. And so you can put attention to places in your body or massage them, and then there can be certain memories that come up. And that's interesting to learn on the bodily level, like what the body feels, and to see that. And there can be, the more that it comes conscious, there can be a reconditioning of that. You can understand why you do things, why you go towards certain people or in certain directions. You can understand why the instrument is navigating it a particular way. And through that understanding, it can recondition it to navigate it in a different direction. Also, through seeing the dynamics in the body, you can also begin to see that that what you're trying to fill up. So in life, most people are always trying to fulfill themselves. So they're seeking to fulfill. What you're trying to fill up is simply a conditioning, and that conditioning will never be fulfilled. So if as a child you're always ignored and never given attention, maybe as an adult you're always seeking attention, and that condition's never going to be fulfilled. You're never going to get enough attention to fulfill that. That thought will come up. You could be the most successful astronaut and loved and everyone recognizes you, and you'll still feel alone, you'll still feel unheard. Well, that condition is running. The thoughts will come up no matter what situation you put yourself into. Whether everybody's clapping you and you're getting loads of attention, you'll still feel unloved. You can't fulfill a habit. A habit is simply a habit. It's like a programming in the software. So the more that you get to know these stories, the more that the seeking begins to fall away, because it's like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to get what I look for. I see what the body's doing and it's not going to get what it looks for in that. Thanks, Nadia, for your question. Hi, Carmela. Hi, Jason. Hi, Lisa. I have a question for you if you have time. I have seen through this personal self many times. It has been seen to be made of temporary bits of what is, but still there is no knowing of the effortless true self that must be here, but is overlooked. Do you have any sense about what else is needed here, or something that might be useful? Thanks for your question, Jason. It's a difficult one, because there's a you there, Jason, that wants to arrive somewhere, and while that Jason wants to arrive somewhere, this is covered. So this Jason that wants to arrive is surrounded by this infinite presence. This Jason that wants to arrive is arising in this infinite presence. So it's here all the time, but Jason keeps wanting to get somewhere, wanting to get to the future or trying to get away from the past. Maybe you could, on the human level, explore your body. I'm not going to say or promise you that that's going to lead you to freedom, but it's something you could try and see what happens, is explore that feeling of always wanting things and not getting it. Like that frustration in the solar plexus of the heart that other people have got there and that you haven't. I just see that on the human level. Just see the untruth every time that thought comes up that you haven't arrived or that you haven't got it. I feel the feeling of it. But one thing I can promise you is that you're not going to get there because you don't exist. Thanks, Jason. Annika. Hi, Annika. Hi, Lisa. I would really like to talk to you. Can I call you for a bit in this live session? Thanks. Yes, Annika. Please call. Nat. Hi, Nat. Hi, Lisa. I have a hypothetical question regarding consciousness and the material world. Here goes. If I fall asleep in your home and then wake up the next day and you ask, where were you? As the physical body, when I was in deep sleep, what would you answer? Would you suggest that the universe doesn't exist if I am unconscious, or does it keep going and I'm merely unconscious? Thanks. I would suggest that that's unknown. Like what you know is that there was time missing. So when you fell asleep and there's deep sleep, there is time missing. So there is going to sleep and then waking up again, and you don't know anything about that period. So it's just mystery. And then you presume that the world exists or doesn't exist when you're not there, but it's irrelevant whether it does or doesn't. The truth to it is that this life is a mystery. I get the sense of what you want is you want to find the continuous you. So you want to find what's always there. Like that's what the question is really about. Like what is always there? It's not about whether the world exists when you're in deep sleep or doesn't exist. In one way, that's irrelevant. What's always there is awakeness. Because you don't know non-awakeness, so non-awakeness is never not. No. So deep sleep is never there. You don't know it. You don't know that unconsciousness. What you know is awakeness. That's what's always here, this alive presence. And that's your experience. And it doesn't mean that there's a nice, comfortable answer for this world. I mean, I could fit it into a nice, comfortable answer. I know what traditionally is answered in non-duality. No, the world isn't there, but it's just irrelevant. What's relevant is your experience, and your experience is there's always awakeness. And in deep sleep, there is nothing. And in that nothing, time doesn't exist. So it's going to sleep and then awake instantly again. And that's the point.
You there, Jason?
Hi, Annika.
Arrive somewhere. This.
Hello.
Hi, I believe it's hello.
Hello. I think you need to there. Very good. Nice. How are you this evening? Hello.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
I cannot see you. I
No.
only can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I believe it's a delay between the Skype and the live YouTube.
Yes. That is all correct.
Okay.
That's how it's meant to be. There's nothing wrong. Like I just keep off my video because I'm trying to put all the internet power to my live stream.
Perfect. Thank you. I haven't got my hair done yet, so you got the chance. Oh my God! I can't believe I'm talking to you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Oh my God! I'm listening to you for many years now. You and other speakers, and I've managed a few years ago to go to Muji.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm in this non-duality, whatever it is called, for some time now.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start. Most of my, this mind wants to ask a million questions. And
Yeah.
yeah, the heart just wants to spend time in your presence somehow. It's like this. But I wanted to, first I wanted to say to you that you addressed most of the questions that I wanted to somehow come with the relationship and chakras and everything. But is this, it's like most of my life, it's most of this experience, it's peaceful and loving, and I live what others might call a happy life.
Yeah.
But is this, I don't know, spine here, in the back of the whatever it is, brain, mind. I have this relationship for 12 or 13 years for now with a girl, and it's been like, wow, it's just rolled me over and over and over again. It's been like amazing and terrifying in the same time,
Yeah.
And I cannot come to
I don't think our line is good enough. And Andreas. Okay, this was such a beautiful and inspiring conversation. I could relate quite much. I feel the loving, compassionate energy coming from both you and the person who called in. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Andrea. Sorry, I called you Andreas. Andrea. Yeah, it was really lovely. Andre was very sensitive and very empathetic with the way that he was relating to me. When I say empathetic, as in like he was giving me space, like I was giving him space, and it was sweet. Like he wasn't over pushing things or trying to suck my energy. It was I found that very endearing and relaxing. Just like speaking with him, it was easy to work with him. Like empathetic's maybe not quite the right word. Conscientious is maybe a better word. So I'm sure you are empathetic, Andre, but it was conscientious. You were very conscientious in our conversation. Hi, Vishil. Hi, On. Love you, Lisa, and thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to listen to your talks. So much love and presence. Oh, thanks, On. It's beautiful. I'm happy to be able to share. Okay, yeah, sure, Andre or Annika. You try again. Yep, we can try again. Okay, that was unexpected and good to hear all this mystery. Thank you, Lisa. Feeling like this was good choice, a good listening to me. I'm very privileged. Nice. Hi, Annika.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
I got to the part where you were saying about your girlfriend and it being very intense.
Yeah, very intense and very. I was just talking. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Very intense and very provocative, and I cannot find this point where I can, look at it clear and influence her as well.
Yeah.
Because I used to tell her that we just go with each other in this like a big bell,
Yeah.
like once you ring it, it goes all over and
I just feel like afterwards, are you going to feel a little bit insecure about saying all of this about your girlfriend? Like sometimes when people are calling in and talking about their personal lives, like it is going to be recorded onto the internet.
Oh no, I have no problem about this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
I'm always cautious about people overexposing themselves because
no, I have no problem.
And then
with
on my
this.
side, I'm like on a selfish side, it's like sometimes when people do overexpose themselves, it takes me like 3 or 4 hours to download, edit the video, and re-upload the video. So that's just on my selfish side. Like so, sometimes people they overexpose and then afterwards they regret it and they ask me to.
Okay, I got your point. I got your point. Okay, and thank you for saying me this because honestly, at the first, I didn't want to go in this, story to talk about it with you because it feels like I don't respect you to come with all this.
Well, no, I don't mind. You're welcome to come with anything. I'm just concerned about you overexposing. When you talk about someone else or something.
Oh no, I don't have a problem with this. No, the world is as it is, so I don't mind about it. This problem feels much more, hot, and I want to. Now it's 13 years now, and I'm in this point where I really need to get to the end, to the clarification of this, like it's not like I want an end or another beginning, or just to be clear, just to heal this crazy 12 years,
Yeah. So what does your body feel like when you say that? Like, is there an area in your body which is uncomfortable?
Oh yeah, I can feel it in my heart. I can feel it in my throat.
Yeah. So just I'm going to give you some very basic information because I don't want to overexpose you. Like I don't want to say things too deep for you on the internet. But I just give you some basic information. So the fact that it's your heart and your throat, like have you questioned a lot your relationship with women and a lot of what you expect and want from women?
Oh yeah, I can see it clearly. Like I want appreciation and validation and love, and like it's like what. Yeah, I can see it.
And did you get that as a child from your mother?
Yeah, I got this memory I have where I was discovering my sexuality. I don't remember how old I was, little, maybe, I don't know, 5, 6 years or something like this. And she got in the room and she caught me on this, and that moment, what I felt then, I can recognize the feeling I have when I get rejected from women.
Yeah, that's great. That's great that you've done that you've identified these memories.
Yeah, this girlfriend, she's a medical doctor and a psychotherapist. Like, this psycho the rapist, yes. And I don't know, you can imagine we go into discussions like no ending in circles. Yeah, and it kills me. I cannot do it. And it brought up many issues from our childhood, and we tried to heal it together. She went to therapy. I'm a much more, I better smoke a joint and think about it and feel it, I don't rationalize much. I'm much more intuitive like this. And
I just feel this overwhelming sense to stop this again, because I feel like it's maybe we speak one-on-one. I just don't want to, just from my side, like as a teacher, like I don't want to push people in any way into overexposing themselves. Like, because in the moment it might feel good, but then later it might feel really bad that you did that. And it's taken me a while to learn that about working with people online, that it also can be a bit traumatic.
Now that it is live, live, and I'm totally okay with it. But I totally understand what you say.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to ask you if I can call you on a personal session.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe because it's much better like this, because I wanted to call you for many times. I once asked you a question, and I'm watching you. I really resonate the way you come. God speaks to you in a way that touches me, and I really love it. And maybe we can do this. But
I think it's better when you're talking about your partner. Like just had so many experiences with this now. Like I've been doing it online for like nearly 10 years, and so just I pull back a bit.
People are crazy. I know.
But it's not even that. It's more that I don't want you to overexpose yourself. That's what I'm concerned about, is you. And I may be being too protective, but I just feel this compassion. Like I don't want these sessions to turn in any way where they're doing something negative for people.
Okay. But this is the way I like you said before in this live session, like this is the way you are. You just speak. I do this. I don't care. What comes. I don't care. I don't care. I don't mind. I don't want to hurt people, but it comes out what it comes out. So
no, I mean, I don't know, but for some reason I feel this responsibility coming up for other people when they do that.
I can feel this responsibility. In your live session and in your talks and every time.
I just want people to be treated with respect, and sometimes I've learned from working with people and from watching other live talks as well, that sometimes doing it in front of a group can end up traumatic for someone, and I don't want to add to that in any way for people negatively.
Okay, I totally get it.
Especially if you've got but if you've got other questions that are lighter, I'm happy to go there.
Is this question I wanted to, it feels like I come to this point where I clearly see these stories that we're telling ourselves, I totally see that we imagine that we know. We imagine that we know. It's like we make stories and we fight for it. I came to this point where I see this, but somehow I feel like on one side, it feels like some energetic part in me is like acting like trying to sabotage I don't know. I don't know maybe if it is the right word, but I have to tell you this because in this context I have to tell this. I have to I keep returning to smoking weed when especially with this, troubles from this girlfriend. Because I got tired of just rolling around the same stories, and this is a way for me to cut out, and on some part.
And when you smoke weed, when you smoke weed, you almost disappear in a way.
Yeah, and I really like it. I love it. I love it, and I can see the stream of the thoughts
Yeah.
more clearly. It's like I'm here and I'm watching them, and somehow I'm amusing myself, you know,
Yeah.
with what kind of thoughts can come, you know.
Yeah.
But mostly I'm calm, you know, disappearing like
Yeah.
this. Yeah. And somehow I feel guilty that I feel like maybe I'm not, you know, facing something.
I think
And
we'd have to speak about it one to one, because I can feel that we could get
Yeah.
deep really quickly, and I just don't want to do that to you online in front of other people.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'll book a session or like on your website. It's
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep you anymore because it's already late. You spent 2 hours online, so I
But
can
thank you.
feel
But
it. Yeah.
I feel like we could have a really great conversation if it wasn't for other people listening. Like we could really go for it. Like I can already feel that my energy wants to
maybe they
like
get
zoom
something.
in and really go. Like we could.
Yeah, I feel like this. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, we'll do this in a
Yeah.
live session, in a private session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much for
Lisa.
calling in. Thank
I
you.
love you. I
Oh,
just
I love you.
you. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you from my bottom of my heart. I thank you.
With pleasure. That's a love. Bye.
Okay. Kiss Khaleesi for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye. Nice. I hope everyone understands why I cut it off. Like it's nothing to do with Annika, and it's that it's not always appropriate to expose yourself. Like sometimes people get hard line. It's like, no, I want to face every condition. Let's just go and expose yourself on the internet for everybody to see, and I'm getting over my karma. And then also it's not always appropriate. Like there are boundaries with things, and sometimes it can be about like a self-destruction. I don't think that was Annika's case, but it's all different reasons why and what effect that can have. And so it's better that when I'm going too personal with someone, I now feel like I'd rather keep it in a one-to-one session with someone. Yeah. It's yeah, that's my feeling. So from Jason, thank you. Is this something a private session could be helpful for, or does this just need to be dissolving that is happening and grace? I don't know, Jason. I don't know. I can't tell you that. Like it could be that it's just something that will dissolve through time, or it might be that you need more personal work, or like on the ultimate level, freedom doesn't come from anything you do. It's something that happens. But sometimes there needs to be a looking at some of the dynamics in order for there to be a relaxation to happen. So basically, I don't know. See how you feel. If you feel yes to do it, then go for it. If not, then don't. But that's enough for today. Like there's so Nadia, I see I didn't answer your question, and there's some other people that I didn't answer, Lucia. But it's enough talking for today. I am off to feed Khaleesi and to feed myself. But thank you so much for everyone participating. Thank you for being so honest and open and willing to share everything about yourself and to explore this subject. I really love to talk to you about this subject. Thank you. Bye, guys.